Welcome to the Fancy Thinker. I'm Jared Quartermanch, and today is my December update for 2023. Everything I'm involved in, everything I'm reading, everything I'm doing. So, November was a pretty good month for me for finishing stuff off. I finished off a lot of books this month, five, I think, to be exact. Yeah. And that doesn't mean I'm reading any faster or anything like that. That just means I finished off books that I'd started, you know, prior to November, and now they're finally coming to fruition, and I'm finally finishing them off. So, what did I finish off in November? I finished off Fugitive Prince by Jenny Wirtz. This book was fantastic. It's about book four in the Wars of Light and Shadow in this epic, huge series by Jenny Wirtz, which will be completing next year with book 11. So I'm very excited to move along in this series, and one of the it's gearing up to be one of the greatest series ever written. So do yourself a favor and start that series if you haven't yet. What I also finished off was Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep as part of my Sci-Fi Masterworks read along, and took that book out from the library, so I don't have it on me, but there it is. And so that was a pleasant surprise for me. I liked it a lot. Um, this it's one of those thought experiment type sci-fi books, not too heavy on character development, but heavy on ideas. And so that was really cool. Uh, just reading that book and comparing it to the movie Blade Runner, and how different it was, and some of the things that you recognized. So that was a trip reading that. I also finished off Sea of Puppies by Amitav Ghosh. This was a book recommended to me by Vasha from Reading by the Rainy Mountain on my Book Think episode number 2. And so I finally finished this book off. This book is a historical fiction book, takes place in the 18th century, I believe, or early 19th century, and during the Opium Wars between China and um, the colonial British rulers of India. It takes place before the wars, so it's an interesting book that really focuses on the lives of certain people who are getting ready to board this boat called the Ibis. And I got to tell you, this book really expanded my expectations about culture, about word use in a novel. And so I'm hoping to get a review out of this book soon, so that I can go over all that stuff. And it really expanded my vocabulary for a different culture in a different part of the world, and I enjoyed it for that aspect of it. What else did I finish off? Oh yes, I finished off uh, book two in the Drowned Kingdom saga. Hopefully that's right there. By P.L. Stewart, The Last of the Atalantians. Um, I'm hoping to get a review of that sometime. And that was an exciting second book, because it really continued on right from the first one left off. The first one was kind of a cliffhanger, and we dive right into the action from the first novel. And fortunately, this one came to a satisfying conclusion. Left certain a lot of things open for the continuing of the series, because I think it's going to be a 7 book series. But it's really it wrapped this current story arc up, I should say, and so it felt like a great finish off, and to the story currently going, and definitely leads into more exciting things to come. So I was happy to finish that off. And I also finished off this monster book called Toll the Hounds, little book called Toll the Hounds. Book 8 in the Malazan Book of the Fallen. This is my reread of all things Malazan. and I did not remember how big of a punch this gave me from the first time I read it. It really wow. The ending of this book is just incredible, and so I was very pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it on a reread. I was surprised at how much I did not remember. It's like I had certain images in my head from my first time reading it, and this time reading it, all that was kind of just like, oh, yeah, that's a little image I had, but there was just so much more to it, and so I was really excited when I finished that book because it just really gave me that great reading experience that we all want. I also finished off a little book called Night Fever. It's a graphic novel by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Probably one of my favorite creative teams in comics, and that was a fun little excursion. Only takes an hour to read that, and the and I had a discussion with this with Steve from Page Chewing on his podcast, and so that was a good time, um, and a really fun graphic novel. So that's like whew, all the stuff I finished off in November. So what am I reading right now? I'm continuing my Malazan journey by rereading Ian Asimov's Orb Set the Throne. This takes place right after Toll the Hounds. And so it kind of was like, oh wow, I recognize these characters, and I have can't wait to get more into this book. I'm only like 60 pages in right now, so that's a lot of fun. And I am also reading right now a second book in the Sundered Nation trilogy, Bold Ascension by Von Roycroft. I read The Severing Sun last year when I first started the channel, and Vaughn was so kind to reach out to me and give me this really cool signed advanced reader copy for book two, Bold Ascension. I've kind of flew through the first 100 pages this week, and so far so good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this world he put together, kind of a pseudo historical fantasy here. And so interesting characters, and I'm I'm just letting this one wash over me. I think it's a really good time, and it's a really cool read with a lot of stuff that I don't know what's going to happen, and that's really good. So that's what I'm reading right now. What do I plan to read this month? Um, as part of my continuing read along for Sci-Fi Masterworks. My next book in that series is The Stars, My Destination by Alfred Bester. So I really don't know what to expect from this book. It's short, it's only about 200 pages, although the print's very small. But um, so that's, I'm excited for that. It won a Hugo Award, so I'm hoping it's pretty good. So I'm excited to read that. And sometime towards the end of the month, I'll probably be starting up book 5 in the Wars of Light and Shadow, Grand Conspiracy. Um, I can't wait to get into this. From everything I heard, the uh, the intensity just gets ratcheted up immensely. So very much looking forward to that. And I know I mentioned this last month, but I'm hoping I can squeeze this in. Once again, I want to read The Tombs of Atuin by Ursula K. Le Guin, book 2 in the Earthsea trilogy, because I have this nice little, old trade from way back, and I just like the feel of it. I want to get more into Le Guin, and I know I'm gonna have some Le Guin coming up sometime next year for the science fiction masterwork series, but this is her fantasy series. Wizard of Earthsea was the first one in the Earthsea trilogy, and Tombs of Atuin is book 2. And I really want to get to that hopefully this month sometime. Um, And yeah, I'm also doing. Last month we did for November. I did Book Think with Philip Chase. We talked about old English poetry, and that was really interesting. I really dug those old poems, and I actually hope to read a few more of those. They're short. You can just, you can find them on the web somewhere. And so that was a lot of fun. Poems other than Beowulf, and so and read Beowulf if you can too. But that's the classic, great one. But there's a lot of those old English poems out there that you can check out, and they're fun to read. They really give you a little slice of life glimpse into what life was, what people were thinking about way back then in the middle middle of the Doctor Middle Ages, and so that was great. And I'll be putting out inquiries for the next Book Think episode at the end of this month. And I think that pretty much covers everything that I can think of right now. I also am going to read, that's what it is, Overdue, a short story by Mark Lawrence, for that ties in with the library trilogy. So I plan on reading that as well. So that'll be good. All right. So I think that's it for my update for this month. So let me know in the comments below what you're reading this month, and if you're reading anything similar to I am, that'd be great too. All right, be good to each other, and thank you.